Jeremiah, I saw you first, and the mic's coming to you. Maz, you're next.
Yeah, it seemed like you solved the problem of slow starts. Looked like another bright start today, but I mean, what do you make of? It seemed like you guys faded down the stretch there.
Yeah, I mean, good start to the first half. I think a good start to the second half. But you're right, we faded a little bit. You know, that's just, you know, the little spells that we have of giving balls away, and then we have to defend again, and then we give it away and defend again. I think that catches up to us sometimes. You know, extending possessions in their half of the field. Those are all the messages, but, you know, we have to execute those as well. I thought we had a good balance of transition moments, and then there were times when, you know, Chu would stop and come back out, and we'd sustain possessions. There were other times where he tried to dribble 2-3 guys and lost it. So just some little decision-making things. You know, Cody and Reed on that side, we got to just keep believing that they can do the job, and, you know, we just got to keep working at it. But, you know, if Nicos' goal goes in, or Alberth had a great chance in the 59th, 58th seconds, I mean, it was good play. You know, so we just need someone to start scoring goals.
Maz.
Brian, those little spells.
Good or bad ones?
Fair enough. We'll go with the bad ones as a coach.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. But, yeah, I mean, how do you message those? Because obviously they're frustrating. Players don't want to make those mistakes, but they're making those mistakes.
So my message is always, did you see this pass over here when you tried to force a ball over here? It's always a learning moment for me. We can't micromanage players' decisions. So what you work on is their cognitive vision and their decision-making by asking them a question. Okay, so, you know, JP forced the ball here, he tried to play a ball here, but hey, JP, did you see this, which might have been a better pass? And so they learn and they watch the film, and we try and make them better.
At some point as a coach, if you're having to ask the same question, is that then you have to evaluate the execution of that player?
Yeah, for sure. But right now, that's tough with, you know, slim pickings on the roster.
All right, Gigi, we'll swing over to the other side of the room here. Right here, second row.
My question is, how much of the offensive struggles do you think are from, you know, you're missing Rui Diaz, Roldan, Jordan Morris, and how much of those struggles do you think are just from sloppy play or preventable mistakes?
I think there's a little bit of both. I'm not so sure I would go and say that it was sloppy, because I think we created some good chances. We just need that final action to go in. But of course, we're missing some key players, and, you know, it's MLS. We get through it. We have to get through it. That's just the way it is.
We'll come around to the front row here. Nico, I think you have a question. Actually, both Nicos. Yeah, either one. Go ahead. Yeah.
So Stefan Fry pulled off some pretty great saves today. I want to get your thoughts on his overall performance and what's coming up next for Fry for the next game.
Well, there's 10 clean sheets by the club, I believe.
Correct.
Which is a positive. And Steph is a big reason why. Obviously, it's a team sport, and he would be the first to give credit where credit's due. But, you know, Steph's a tremendous goalkeeper. He's always kept us in games, and tonight was one of those nights.
Nico.
Coach, this is a Orlando team that has gotten quite a few players back from international play. They are a team that has spent a lot of money in terms of new players. So how much do you credit this team to just, you know, hold on to this result with that much money spent into a roster and the quality in general of this Oscar Pareja run?
Well, we
team?
have a lot of quality. I mean, I don't know if I'd say we held on. Yeah, they had a one clear chance at the end on a transition moment, but Nico's chance early, you know, Cody Baker down at the end line, maybe he shoots it first time if he has a little more experience. I mean, we put some pressure on them too, so I wouldn't say that we held on. Nervy moments, yeah, when you put a couple young kids out there, sure. But the moves that we made, I mean, Freddie came on and did okay, and I dropped Alberth back a line, and he was fine back there, defending good. I mean, I don't know what Oscar's roster and money, and I don't think about that.
In terms of going against a guy like Oscar, who's, he's a veteran of this league in general, did you
I'm old too.
do you usually look into like his angles into approaching a game in general, or just specifically to what he's done with Orlando?
Oscar's a really good coach. I mean, he came up through Dallas, and we had some battles with him in 2016, and throughout the years, he's done a great job in Orlando. Had that stint in Mexico. I mean, he's a very well-traveled, he's a good coach. I mean, I don't expect anything less.
Jose.
Coach Nuhu had another performance where he really seems to be getting his fitness back. Would you assess that he is close to 100% now?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, his clearances off the line, some of his dribbling, which entertains the fans, entertains me. Yes, it's good. He's coming back to full fitness, full health from the malaria.
Go ahead.
Coach, there were several times when you did manage to break into the box where it seemed like you were creating, or were on the verge of creating situations that could have been goals. Yet the XG was just 1.22 for Seattle. Wasn't much better for Orlando to add to that. But what did you see today where you say, okay, we have these opportunities in the box, but we don't create chances out of them? What do you think was the missing piece there today?
Well, again, it just comes down to individual decisions, and it's not just when I say individual decisions, not just with the guy with the ball, but our movements inside the box. We've trained very hard on trying to, when we get the ball into the prime assist zone, what are the movements, which areas of the penalty box do we cover? The top of the box is certainly an area where I don't think we did as well as we could have. I mean, Leo Chu found Alberth there for one very good chance, but we didn't do enough of that. I asked our guys to shoot from distance a little bit more. We weren't really effective there. So there's things, obviously, we need to work on to get the breakthrough and get the team to believe that we can score goals and win games.
We'll take another from Jeremiah before we go over to Zoom questions. Jeremiah, go for it.
Yeah, we had talked a little bit about Nico playing on the right. What did you make of him today? And I don't know if you knew what was going on there at the end with the throw-in and all that.
I have no idea what happened in that moment. No idea. There were a couple of head-scratching moments in that game for me. But Nico was fine. I mean, I think he's getting used to that position. I think him and Alberth are two solid pieces in the pockets. So I like that. And, we'll continue to try and fine-tune that.
All right, over to Zoom. Jada, I see you have your hand raised. Please go ahead and ask your question.
Thanks. Thanks, Brian. I actually was going to just ask about Nico, too, but to kind of extend on that, how much do you think he might be frustrated at not, connecting on some of these shots? It's been a few games where he's had good looks, but hasn't been able to get them in the net. How much might that be building with him, do you think?
Well, it builds with all players, Jada. It builds with the entire squad. When you kind of play well and you kind of have these chances and you can't finish games off, even starting with that Charlotte game, against LAFC, I thought there were good moments. We just couldn't score. And then again tonight it happens. Yeah, it wears on people. It wears on Nico. He's a very competitive guy. He hates to lose. Well, he hates to tie as well. But, you get my point. I think there are some frustrated guys. I know Alberth wishes that first shot would have gone in. He put himself into some good positions. So, yeah, the team can get frustrated. It's our job to, just keep going over and fine-tuning things and try and give them the confidence that they can score.
Owen, I see your hand raised. Please go ahead and ask your question.
Thanks, Matt. I want to go a little bit more into Nuhu. He seemed a little bit more offensively active tonight, and I wanted to ask if that was, you thought, more down to him playing opposite Cody, who you've said is a little bit more defensive of a player than a guy like Reed or Alex, or if that was kind of in his development as a player.
That was all Nuhu. That's classic Nuhu. You know, that position on the field, we build in three. He tucks in like three center backs. But, you know, look, Nuhu's going to do whatever he can to try and help the team win. And, you know, certainly those moments where he intercepts a pass and he starts dribbling up the field, I think that can be effective. And again, to the earlier question about Nuhu, I think his fitness is such that, you know, he can get forward, and then if it does turn over, he's fast enough and fit enough to get back.
All right, that's all I'm seeing on Zoom, so we'll take a couple more here in the room for those that would like them. Yeah, Maz, we'll start with you here.
Brian, on Leo Chu going inside, was that a point of emphasis in practice, or did it just happen organically and a couple of times?
That's organically. I mean, he likes to come inside. You know, against LAFC, I thought he was really effective against Hollingshead going outside. I think he just, you know, takes what the game gives him. But, you know, again, he's one of our more dangerous players.
All right, we'll come down here.
Hey, Coach. Thought Alberth's done really good in the 10 role past few games. When we get everybody back from international break and whatever else, how if it's gonna slot back into like that 6 or 8 role, or you think they're gonna keep him as a 10 or build around him?
We'll see. We'll keep trying the experiment. Right now, he is. I agree with you. He's playing well in that position. So when everybody's back, we'll see how the team shakes out.
All right, we'll go last one right here.
How do you feel about Baker's play last few games and just how the young guys are doing?
Cody, in particular, look, I said it before, he will have a very good MLS career. These are good games for him and Reed to learn, to get experiences. You know, Cody's a lockdown defender. Can he get better offensively? Yes, I think he can. Some of his decision-making on where he passes the ball, what he sees, I think he will get better. But, you know, I enjoy his enthusiasm for, you know, trying to help the team win, and he's a good athlete. So he was good.